Hello, everyone, and welcome to a premiere Ikoria draft Lair of Behemoths. The new set dropped earlier today, and for the first time ever in Arena, we are able to draft against real humans and draft in a pod. So what that means is we're going to sit at a table, virtual table, with 7 other players, and we're going to pass packs around just like we would in paper. We're going to build our draft deck from those, and then we're going to go ahead and play it against other people. It's not going to be the same people who were at our table. It is the league format they have on MTGO. But this is great. I've done a couple of these already today, and we're going to go ahead and fire it off. Now, one piece of warning before we get started. I might not be able to read all the cards and give great commentary on them, but we'll give some of the highlights, and I'll at least let you know why I'm picking what I'm picking. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and buy in with gems. We're sitting at a nice, comfortable 10,000 gems right now. We're going to buy in with 1,500 of that and see how far it can take us. Purchase. We get a style for buying in here until, I believe it's middle of May. So we got a cool one. And we're ready to go. So once everyone at the table's ready, it just fires it off like that. Super quick. Here we go, pack one, pick one. We have a mythic. This pumps humans. And is sort of a human build-around. I'm not super big on that. I did one human deck. I was unimpressed by it. The Polywog Symbiote's fine. The Wild Bonder is good. The Leosar's fine. Here, I kind of just want to take the Mythic. Mostly for collection building. It's fine to build around. We won't marry it. And, you know, there's fine stuff in the pack, but there's no premium removal. Ram Through's alright. Farfinder might be one of the best things, pack one, pick one, just because it's colorless, it fixes you. But we're going to go ahead and take a Mythic here, pack one, pick one. We're not sold on it, but it does say, be humans. Next pack, we have Easy Prey. This is a fine little removal spell here. There's the Archipelagore. This wants you to go huge. And then there's also Valiant Rescuer, a human cycling payoff. Now, cycling tends to want to be white, blue, red, the Jeskai colors. We took something that's not, but this is going to pump humans. This is a human. And this is a pretty powerful build-around, so we should listen to that a little bit. Easy Prey and Mutual Destruction, these are both fine cards, but let's go ahead and take another build-around that sort of works with our first one, and see if maybe the cycling deck's open. This will make humans that'll get pumped by the general, so I think that's pretty powerful in this case. The general can even be the splash. We could have the black be the splash. This one you put Vigilance counters on. There's a cycle of these Mentors. Different colors have different counters. This one's Vigilance. I'm not super thrilled about Vigilance. It is a human. This Rooting Moloch is very powerful. Good cycling build-around. The Prickly Marmoset's an alright cycling build-around as well. But here, I think we go ahead and take the Moloch and read that maybe, you know, white-red cycling is available. And we can think about splashing black for the general. He's pretty powerful. So let's see, what does everyone else at the table tell us? That is the egg. We're not super interested in that. Pouncing Shore Shark. This is a powerful mutate build-around. We have the Wolf Bear. This does care about humans, but we're pretty far off of green. Wow, that's another powerful uncommon. So if we're red-white, I'm not really playing either one of those. Looking around, there is this Day Squad Marshal, which is fine. But both of these are pretty powerful cards, especially this Boneyard Lurker. Getting back permanence when it mutates on a 4-mana 4/4 is great. And we're not married to anything here. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Lurker on a spec. We're not saying we have to play it, but we say that it's there. Snare Tactician works well with the Rescuer, with the General, even the Moloch. So I am still seeing the pieces of the cycling deck here. I haven't drafted the cycling deck. This is good even if you're just, they go all in on one thing. You just tap it down, tap it down, tap it down. It can help you push through damage, make sure you don't die. Easy Prey might be the better pickup here as removal. We'll see if we can wheel the Tactician. The question is, do we want to get into the cycling deck or do we want to take removal? Let's go ahead and take the Tactician. I want to see if we can get synergies going on here. That being said, Unbreakable Bond's nice if you're Golgari doing the, the recursive stuff. These white cards are fine, but meh. Blitzleech is nice, but we might just take a Deadweight. This is probably the most likely card to make our deck. We could be like white, black, splashing green, try to get some recursion that way. I just like Deadweight as a card. It'll kill stuff early. Here, Commando's okay, human. Here's another cycling build around right here, with the Snare Tactician. Having a second Snare Tactician, we should be able to push through damage pretty hard. I'm not seeing a ton of the cycling payoffs. Many of them are humans, which works well with the general. We already took this Moloch. So yeah, let's go ahead and take another Tactician. Works well with the humans, works well with the cycling. Not much here. I think we take a Cathartic Reunion. And look to be this red-white cycling deck. We might splash some black. Do we do that, or do we just take the... the Boot Nipper's a fine thing to mutate onto. We have one mutate thing. That's it. The rest of this is really a cycling deck. So yeah, let's take a Cathartic Reunion. I want to see if we can make cycling work. Wow, Farfinder's still being here. We're going to go ahead and just snap that up. Yeah. It's great. It's a thing you can mutate onto. Works well. Helps fix you. It's colorless. It's just a great card. We could take a charge. Our deck probably wants a single charge. If we're sort of go widey humans. None of these black things are really convincing me. So let's take our one coordinated charge. Not seeing a ton of the cycling stuff. We could just take a Frenzied Raptor as a fine playable if we go red. Or we can lean into the black a little bit harder. Maybe we're not playing red. Maybe we're just white-black humans. Coilbug's okay in that sort of white-black. This much black coming around means I think we're being forced into black. And I'll take this on the spec. Black-white. That's great. So let's go ahead and cut them all out, cut the Cathartic Reunion, and look to be, white-black humans. Less cycling matter stuff. This pack, I don't see any premium removal anywhere. We can just go ahead and take the land. That fixes us a little bit towards green. It's a rare. It cycles late game when we don't need it. And these are two fine black cards, but sort of unexciting. So yeah, let's just go ahead and take the land. It's a rare. It'll collection build. This pack... We're seeing some green. Is there any way we go back, cut white? Right now there's really, one white card that I'm not even sure we're playing. Two Snare Tacticians and a Rescuer, which are more for the cycling deck. We could be just black-green Value Town, splashing white for the general. And if we're black-green, I like this Glowstone Recluse a lot more. Good mutate player. So I think we take it and look to maybe go white, green-black even. That said, there's a Pacifism here. Pacifism's nice. Another Snare Tactician. We could really force humans. But I don't know if that's what the draft is telling us. We could take the Chittering Harvester. This is a fine thing to mutate. On 5, they sack something. It's a 4/6. It's not bad. Divine Arrow would work better in the white deck. I don't think we're white. We don't really have any reason to be white other than this general. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Harvester. We don't even have to play the general. Sleeper Dart's not really what I'm looking for. This is not really what I'm looking for. We could take the Poacher. Sort of a fine defensive thing. This has Cycling 1, which would have been nice if we were, you know, really there in the red-white cycling deck, but it looks like we're pretty far away from that. I think people don't know what lanes they're in, or they're just taking everything here. For green-black, this is fine value. So let's go ahead and... yeah, let's go ahead and take it. Wow, here's stuff for the cycling deck. Can we pivot back to cycling? Thwart the enemy's nice, though. It can lead to blowouts, and we'd really want some, you know, top-end stuff to mutate on to really be getting our value, but it looks like we're sort of a mutate deck at this point. We're probably not running some of this. Although, oh gosh. This Reptilian Reflection makes me really want to be in the cycling deck. But I think that ship sailed. So I'm going to go ahead and take a thwart. I think we're black-green. It's a little hard to tell. Weaponize is nice, but again, red. Let's go ahead and take a Survivor's Bond. That way we can buy back stuff. Oh gosh, look at all this stuff for the cycling deck. No one else was in it. We could have all the stuff for it still. We could still try to pivot back. We only have a couple of green cards. They're nice green cards. But we could take a cycling payoff here and not really be punished. Do we have a lot of, you know, incidental cycling going on here? No. So, I don't love that plan. We're going to go ahead and take the Rescuer. Highest upside, not a ton of cost there. We could take a Suffocating Flames. They're cycling in black. We might run this. Volpa Keep, but we really want to be, you know, black-green, I think. Take a Flames, it cycles at worst. How's our curve looking? Looks fine. Dark Bargain lets us, you know, draw cards with some selection. This is also just an okay mutate enabler, but let's just take that. Here's a Sandworm. Here's a way to end a game if we need that. Here's a Snare Tactician. We have a bunch of cycling payoffs. We already have one Survivor's Bond. I don't want another one. We'll take a Dart as a maybe playable if we're desperate. I'll take the Healer. There's stuff for that deck. We'll take that just because it's black, and we'll take the Plains. Alright, and here, well, Eerie Ultimatum's not the worst thing that we could be doing, and we may already splash some white. For the generals, we have the Farfinder. We would need to find a little bit more fixing, but we could actually run an ultimatum in this deck, which seems pretty bonkers. I'm going to go ahead and take it. We'll consider actually casting it. We have a little bit of fixing here already. There's 2 white sources. Mythos, here's a removal spell. We're getting rewarded a little bit. And actually, we might be able to get the outcast on it as well, so things are looking better. I think we're probably cutting all white except maybe the general and then this Eerie Ultimatum. So I'm going to see what the deck looks like without those. See how many playables we need. So we have 17 playables. We'd have to get a lot more. But we'll see. There's a chance. Let's go ahead and see who's in the draft pod here real quick. See if there's any names that we recognize. None that I recognize. I think this looks fine. Hey, look at this. It's the Flying Bat removal spell. This is fantastic. Wow, I can't believe we're getting this like 3rd pick in this pack. Yeah, black was definitely open this way. Bat's amazing. This is a removal spell at instant speed, gets around some of the downsides of it. I love that card. Here's a commando. We'd probably play it. It's a fine playable. We have one already. Make some humans. Survivor's Bonds wants us to run a mix of humans and non-humans. We have some of those. There is, we have one mass reanimation spell there, so, pitching Sandworms early will feel pretty great if we can get that. Thwart's nice, we have one. I'm tempted about the Brushwagger. We only have 1 2-drop to mutate onto. We got, a couple things here at... we don't really have much here at 3 either. So yeah, I definitely want the mutate enabler in the Brushwag. Here, we could take just another mutate enabler in the Brushwag. We should take another Farfinder to help fix for this Eerie ultimatum. This puts lifelink counters on things that aren't human. Maybe that matters enough. We don't really have good evasion for that. I guess we have 1 flyer. So the question is, do we want fixing? Do we want a 1-drop mutate enabler? Let's go with a colorless one. Time ran out there. We could have thought about that one a bit more. That's some amount of fixing. We already have 1 dark bargain. I guess we'll take an impulse. We could play it in a pinch. Whisper Squad's not good if we only have 1. We're not doing that. Rumbling Rockside's great removal. I'm going to take it just to punish people. That's fine removal. Like, people should be running that. This gets us back some stuff. Here's just another mutate enabler, though. We might need it. Don't love that. We don't have a sideboard. None of these are rares. I'm going to go ahead and just put that in the board. Scorpion, something we could run. This doesn't fix us the way we want, so board that. Snare Tactician. Look, we had 4 Snare Tacticians. Thwart, all the way back around. We might play a second copy of that. There's a cycling 1 thing, and there's just another gem that we're not playing. Alright. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. How did it end up? Are there any rares we're not looking to play? Not really. The rares that we have are the rares that are in here. This is actually fixing nicely for our ultimatum. So that's not bad. We actually have a cut to make. It might just be this impulse. We have a removal spell. This can be alright. 2 thwarts is maybe a lot. But I like the versatility it has. We got some removal, recursion, a top end. Overall, like this deck pretty well. We could just cut an impulse. Or we're cutting a thwart. I like thwart as a combat trick. Let's just cut the impulse and run it like this. And if we're running, this general is not going to be at his best. We do not have a ton of humans. But we do have a couple there. And, 1 there. Some ability to get them back. Some ability to buy him back. And we can exile cards from the opponent's battlefield, from the opponent's graveyard, rather. Which could matter. He's also just a 3-mana 3/3. So I think it's worth running him, even though we don't really have a lot of synergies for him. If we were in the cycling deck with all these humans... which we sort of wanted to push, but then we didn't find the greatest payoffs in red. So, a little unfortunate on that. But, they would have been great with him. And then let's go ahead and take a look at our mana. We're going to go ahead and see if there's any lands that we're not running. 1 Cove, which is fine that we're not running. This crystal fixes for 2 of our colors, but not the 3rd, so we don't love it. We're going to go in here and we're going to pick up our nice lands. So I kind of like just 2 of those. We don't need a 3rd planes in this. We only have 2 far finders to go get them. And then we can go ahead and take... we'll work on the exact numbers here in a minute, but let's get a rough idea here. Alright, that's 1 too many. So this is a black source, 1, 2... I don't think we're super heavy on either source. So I don't mind just cutting like 1 swamp. Saying run it like that. We have 4 white sources. We need double white there, but I think that's alright. We'll know that if we have the ultimatum, we are willing to trade a little bit more aggressively. Because then, you know, eventually we can get all the stuff back. And basically we're getting everything. We got a 2 of, a 2 of, and a 2 of. So, you know, if for some reason both of any of the copies of these are in our deck, fine. But we're going to go ahead and try to make this ultimatum work in this deck. And yeah, it's better. It's one of those that are, you know, it's super great late game. It'll be absolutely backbreaking. Let's go ahead and see if we can Eerie ultimatum our opponents out of the game. And we were able to pick up at least our 3 rares or mythics for this draft. I think there was a 4th one. So really, you know, we did well rare drafting. It was all stuff in our colors. We weren't just taking rares because they were rares. And let's go ahead and see if we can beat Silver Screen here. A little slow, but I'm fine with it. We have a Farfinder on 3, Poacher on 4, Bond to get things back. We got this to flash in. Yeah, this is fine. Looks like they have a cycling card. That's what all those pauses are. We'll go ahead and just throw out our tapped Tri-land. They are not cycling their thing. It's likely cycling 1, and it's likely just like a Dranis Stinger. Called it. Here, we'll go ahead and throw that out. We don't have anything to do. We can Farfinder and then Bone Lurker if we somehow get something in the yard. Double Dranis Stinger. That's a little bit of a problem. Hey, alright, look at this. So as long as we do this, we can go ahead and throw out our 3-3. Hopefully that stops the opponent's assault with all these 2-2s. And it'll be something that we can later buy back with the Lurker if it somehow goes to the yard. Them cycling stuff here is fine by me. They're obviously looking for a land that they're not finding. We can send out the Poacher. And actually exile that thing from their yard, which could be a problem. Because this is a human, this will trigger. And this is a 3-5. So yeah, we're building up a bigger board than they are. They're cycling more cards. We're going to have to start getting in there with stuff, but we're not desperate yet. We have 2 fine plays next turn. We already have another swamp. That's wonderful. We want to mutate this, so we want something to mutate onto. Both of these are fine mutate targets. Let's go ahead and crack in for 3. If we hold back, though, I like our chances a little bit better. Let's make him kill something here. Then we can get Boneyard Lurker value. We'll take the action here. We have our double black already, so let's get our second plains for when we find our ultimatum. Drop the little brushwag. We have the option to sack things to gain life as well, so our life total isn't that bad. They are able to ping us quite aggressively here, which is a little bit of a problem. We can pump mana into this and then sack it to gain even more life, which is an option. The Marmoset's certainly a problem. We're going to have to go ahead and use our bat to kill that, so we have 6 mana kill the thing. That's great. This is 7 mana. We should be able to get it out there at some point, but for now, let's just hold up the bat. And I don't even think we have attacks here. We need to pick away at their board. Using this to kill the Marmoset's going to be pretty great. They're cycling really aggressively here. That's great for them. They're able to get quite a bit of damage through that way. And we're going to threaten to block this Prickly Marmoset. Wow, all the Drana Stingers. This is definitely somewhat of a problem. Little worried that they have removal here, but we're going to go ahead and give it a shot. We're going to do it on the Farfinder. It's the thing we're less likely to sack to this. We definitely want to put this over. Kill the Prickly. We have another Farfinder. If we get this Great Worm out there, that's a lot of sack value. We can go ahead and cast this. Get another land out of our library. Could just grab a Schwampity Schwamp. Play it out there. We have this Lurker that we can mutate. We can mutate it onto our big pile. They didn't show that they had removal. Let's go ahead and send the Brushwag in. Alright, not doing the thing there. We might just have to kill another one of their dudes. It's no value, but we kill another Stinger. And I think that's worth it here. We can't let all 3 of these Stingers live. It makes us dead really fast. Alright, so they killed it, but we still have that out. And we have a non-human to get back with this Survivor's Bond. If we draw another land, we can do this and then immediately mutate. We can also just throw out a Sandworm. And then we have an attacker. They've, I think, maybe run out of cycling stuff to do finally. And I think I'm willing to offer the Lurker. Wow, alright. Well, that's something else we could threaten to get back. Let's go ahead and try to get in for 4. Yeah, I don't think they take the trade. They need the pings from these bad boys. And we need to just find a way to put them under some pressure. We don't have that yet. That worm was one of our options. Here's a commando. We get an extra human if we attack after the fact. If we cast it after our attack. And if we can force a human to the graveyard, then we get extra value. So I still don't really want to attack with a poacher. That's our way to get a bunch of life. Let's hit him for 4, and then we can Night Squad Commando. And then we can actually sack that to have 2 things to go get back with that, which isn't bad. So let's take out, like, the Lava Serpent. We get an extra 1/1, that'll get pumped. We can go ahead and take out the Marmoset. So, I think what we can do is we'll sack this, like the end of their turn, to gain 4 life. Then when we go ahead to reanimate stuff, we can get the bat back as well as This human. You know, we'll sack using this thing. Then we have another thing to get back. I'm liking how that's shaping up then. Yeah, so let's go ahead and gain life. Gaining some life, drawing a card, not bad. Here's a little bit more life gain. I don't think we need the extra mana this turn. We could actually threaten the attack with a Brushwag. I'd be fine trading some Brushwag triggers here. They should watch out. I don't think we can pump it for lethal, so we're just going to let it hit for, you know, a total of, what? 10 there. 5 there. And then we can Survivor's Bond. Get both. Get back our human. Get back our non-human. See, if this resolves, I really like our position. And we went ahead and we... let's get that Cyclone out of there. I'm kind of concerned about that. And the Go for Blood doesn't really do much here. I guess we'll take the boon. It doesn't really matter, I don't think. More stuff. We can sack. We can sack to, again, gain life. We can use the ability here if they play something with 4 or more power. I just like our position. So they want to tap it and make it so it doesn't untap. And in that case, I think we just want to go ahead and gain a little bit more life here. Draw a card. I think it is sacrifice another creature. Yeah. Otherwise, you know, sacrificing itself would be kind of broken, so I understand. We have the Dirge Bat back. Batra, Dark Destroyer. Alright, they play out a little bit of defensive stuff, but at this point we just have good attacks. So yeah, let's go ahead and attack with our 4/4. Even our 2/2s can get in. The Brushwag can get in. That is alright. Definitely these 2/2s. We'll get in with that. I don't think I want to go in for that. This does have tramples, so we can just pump it a whole bunch. I don't know if they realize that they're just dead. Yeah, they don't read cards. It's hard to win when you don't read cards. Alright, deck seems sweet. Once we were able to stabilize, their cycling deck did not stand a chance. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and turn on the light real quick, and we'll get back to game 2. Alright, let's go ahead and jump back into this. Deck seems sweet. We didn't even find the ultimatum there. That would have enabled a pretty silly attack, honestly. But that was great. Showing the power, being able to recur some stuff. I like it. Another nice hand. Since we go first, we can force, get this Brushwag out there. And threaten to, on 5, at least Chittering Harvester. It's a little bit weak. Nothing else. We can flash in a 4-mana bat at some point, ideally. We'll go ahead and show them our other color. We're not going to deadweight our own thing. That is great. We're going to go ahead and use this to go ahead and get our second black source. That way we for sure have the bat. We'll worry about our splash later. And both the Farfinder and the Brushwag are great things to mutate onto. They likely have... they're locking down something. Locking down the Brushwag seems alright. Did they? Oh yeah, they did. We just passed so fast. So they know about that. We can go ahead and just take out the links. I like robbing them of a nice mutate target. Cracking in for one. And here we can actually just Chittering Harvester onto something. If they play, you know, just one big thing for their 4 mana, they're not playing anything. So I'm kind of fine just attacking. We'll see what they have. And this doesn't do any good mutated. This we can just hold up as a flash creature. I don't really want to mutate, you know, waste a mutate on it. We'll see what they do here. They're going to make us discard a card. Oh no, wait, only when it mutates. Yeah, so here, I like just going that, and we're going to go ahead and Harvester. When they only have one thing out, making them sack it seems fantastic. And let's go ahead and make our Trample Boy bigger. Make them sack their only creature, get in there for 5. Put them to the test. We have 1 removal spell, we have a 2nd removal spell. So, liking how this looks so far. And both are instant speed, so we don't have to open ourselves up to anything disgusting. We get to go ahead and put a Death Touch counter on something. I like just putting it there. And this has Menace. They could block. A little bit worried they have something for this. So I'm fine just holding. Let's go ahead and attack. We're the aggressors here, and only getting in for 1 hurts a little bit. But I think that's okay. Let's just hold up stuff. We have Flash. We're not in any rush here. We can cycle away the worm. And it's actually a free buyback with the Survivor's Bond. So we could cast something here. We could go ahead and try to Mythos. And if that fails, it might work out their counter spell. We can also just cycle. That's free. And now we can removal spell this thing. I don't really care if we pay with or without, but we'll go ahead and do it, just to show the opponent that we can. We're going to make him do something now. Yeah, alright. They had Convolute. That's okay. We can go ahead, and we likely are free to just go ahead and do this. Let's see. Maybe they have another thing. Essence Scatter. Okay. We still have an attack. They're still on defense. We'll make them use up their stuff. We'll go ahead and buy... You know, just buying the bat back seems pretty great. We'd love it if a human was also in the yard. We can actually use Suffocating Flames, make their thing too small, and have it die. Alright, we'll go ahead and let that resolve. Let them go to blocks. See what they have here. They shouldn't sniff out a trick. We haven't had anything. They might think that we just don't. And that's exactly how we want them to block. And so we're just going to Suffocating Flames. Trade. We have Dark Bargain and Instant Speed. We could just do this to buy back like the bat, but let's just go ahead and Dark Bargain, dig into our library. The opponent's on, thin ice here. They got one card, and it's a Glimmer Bell. Not the best thing here. And we get, our two best cards here. I like those a lot. We have an attack. We actually have a very nice attack. Oh yeah, this thing has trample. So let's go ahead and say go general. And we can exile, one of their rares, just so that they can't get it back. Then we can Night Squad Commando, get 2 more, exile 2 more things. Looking good. And yeah. Good game, opponent. Yeah, so Golgari with a little bit of white value town seems pretty powerful here. Even against a couple counter spells there, we still got there. So this next win is the big jump where we go from 250 gems to 1,000 gems. So we want to make at least the 3rd win. It means we get a majority of our entry fee back. Sets us up really nicely to continue the train. So 1 more win, and I'm already happy with the draft. We got 2 fouls to give to get there. I'm liking our chances. This is a little bit slow, but we do have our colors. We got 3s that are fine. I'll keep it. We just need a 3rd land for this hand to be pretty rockin'. Glowstone Recluse attack, drop the commandos. We even get our little Brushwag. That means that if the Brushwag attacks, we can just drop the commandos, get the extra humans. Seems good to me. We'll see if they have a 2-drop here to play. Doesn't look like it. And we did not find that 3rd land yet, so we're going to go ahead and attack. Could get blown out by a flash thing here. And now we're going to cycle the worm to go try to see if we can get our 3rd land. No 3rd land, that hurts. See what the opponent wants to do. Alright, we no longer have a great attack. We do find our 3rd. So that means we can just go ahead and, if we wait, we can Glowstone Recluse as the mutate onto the Brushwag, which seems pretty great. I'm just going to go ahead and drop a no-value commando and pass the turn. If we had mana up to threaten the Bushwag activation, I'd do it. Here, I don't want to block. We'd rather attack, drop another one of the commandos. If they want to cycle something for 2 extra damage, that's fine. Should mean that we have at least 1 attack here. Yeah, let's go ahead and get the attack. We can drop out the commando afterwards. Get the extra value. Start going wide. And we do have this thwart to blow out, we block, they cycle a whole bunch of things trying to pump the Marmoset to eat our things, and then we just say your creature can't do combat damage. That could be something. No blocks here. We're winning this race, actually. I'm going to make him drop something that changes that. Grim Dancer's real nice for him. Let's see if they go with the Menace Death Touch. They do. And we could just hold up Thwart. And we might be able to draw out a concession that way. We can actually apply 3 power to each. So I rather like that. Let's just go ahead and say... You know, we're not doing anything here, opponent. You have the upper ground, opponent. You have developed such a board that we can't attack anymore. Likely they attack both. They're fine attacks. Wow, only the one. I really wanted them to attack both. Maybe they're worried about the crackback? We could still kill this thing. Question is, do we want to? Yeah, let's just go ahead and pile everything on. And then let's just go ahead and use Thwart to kill their 3/3. Raking Claws is fine because we're going to make it so that none of the damage happens. Wonderful. So we did get a 2-for-1 in the end. It was a little bit awkward. And now we can go ahead and grow a pretty big Brushwag. There's a defensive boy. We can go ahead and start getting in. They could cycle something and eat. They'd have to cycle 2 things there. So I think I'm okay with this attack. We can deadweight that thing. We can drop another Brushwag. We can just Dark Bargain. We got options. We got some options here. What you doing, opponent? Sometimes I think the cycling deck might run out of gas. Like, they cycled away... Well, they only cycled the one thing so far. It was the last game when people were cycling more. There's a Cloud Piercer. That slows us down a bit. I like saying go Farfinder. Let's go ahead and get our other splat. You know, another white for this splash. Ooh, awkward that it didn't hold up the one thing I wanted to hold up. I wanted to just drop Brushwag, but we could deadweight one of these things. If we deadweight the Cloud Piercer, does that help us? It is less of a threat. So yeah, I kind of like that here. Let's just make this a less of a threat. And then... we don't really have great attacks. Auto Tapper screwed us a little bit there. I wish it had held up green instead. I think it could have. Yeah, it absolutely could have. So let's just make their thing smaller. Even if they mutate onto it, it's still small. Hunted Nightmare. We know this card. We get a Death Touch counter. Let's go ahead and put it on the Farfinder. It's the thing I'm most willing to trade off. Spell Eater Wolverine. That will get double strike at some point. We gotta be a little careful. Although now we can mutate to go ahead and get the Sandworm back. We only have a single green, so we can do that. We could Dark Bargain. Just looking for something. But if we Lurker on this, we have like a 4/4 Death Touch Vigilance. Maybe that's alright. Do we want to do that? Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. Even if we just cycle the Sandworm away again. We at least have it, and... do we have a second green source? Oh, we were able to mutate it for the hybrid cost, which saved us the green source. Alright! That was 4D chess level stuff going on there, and I didn't even see it. We've got a sandworm. Think about casting it at some point. We could also think about trading off, you know, a human and a non-human to get back with a bond. This is multiple cards. I think you can see the... Yeah, here's the split. It's the Brushwag and the Glowstone. We have another Brushwag out, so we could just, you know, trade off the Glowstone Recluse. Trade off one of the Nightmare Commandos. Night Squad Commandos. Get them back. This just has Menace. So we have sort of an okay double block with those. You can even triple block it. Alright, they're going for this. Not sure what they have. We could just do this, which I kind of like. And then we could offer something else. We'd also just chump with the 1/1 human. We could threaten to trade somewhere here. I kind of like that. Let's go ahead and see him get out of this profitably. We actually want some of this stuff in the graveyard, because then we can buy it back, get more mutate triggers on it, so... Wow. Alright, opponent. That's impressive. Okay, so now we're a little bit behind the gun on this. Let's go ahead and buy back some stuff. There's our human, and which non-human do we want? Probably the Boneyard Lurker, because then we can buy back even more stuff. We make this a 4/4. That's probably alright here. Get back something else. Get back a Glowstone Recluse that we can mutate somewhere else. And no attacks here. Alright, opponent set up a pretty great turn there with that fight. That blew us out kind of hard. I wish I hadn't challenged them, you know, to see if they can blow us out with this. Likely they can give that double strike. Likely they can cycle something here. I don't mind trading there. We could just say we're willing to trade that. And this thing getting double strikes kind of bad. I like this. This thing getting a bunch more first strikes bad. If they cycle, what, one spell, we take 6, 10 damage then? Oh, plus this 4, we're dead. So, we're dead if they can cycle a spell here, unless we block. If we block here, we at least trade. I'm afraid the Marmoset could get big enough that it's not even a trade. So yeah, let's go ahead and block. And they can clash our Titans once more. This gets double strike. Yeah, so these clash have done a ton of work for them. That's great. We're pretty behind it here. We would pretty much have to have top-decked our ultimatum there. We can go ahead and drop this, drop that, and I guess survive one more turn to find the ultimatum. Yeah, I guess that's sort of our out right now, is going to try to find this ultimatum. I think we have mana to cast... No, I don't. It's triple black, isn't it? So I think we're screwed even with our ultimatum. Our best card in our whole deck doesn't get us out of this. So I think we're pretty screwed. Those Clash of the Titans were... they set those up well. That's value. I don't think we can be too mad about this. Yeah, the other stuff they did was nice, but those Clash of the Titans are really what got them there. I think we're just dead here. Because it's like, we can block here, we can block there. We're taking 6 on a single... Okay, I thought on a single cycle we were dead. We could Dark Bargain just to look how far in our deck it is, go out our own way. Alright, well there were some cards there. Alright, opponent was able to blow us out with some Clash of the Titans. Can't be too mad about that. Let's go ahead to the next one. 2-1, really need that third win to make this worth it. And we'd love to be able to cast our ultimatum at least one game here. Here, this is a real slow hand. I don't think we can keep it. This is better. We have the bug. This with one more land unlocks the hand, and then I don't know what we put back. Maybe it's just the Commando, maybe it's the Recluse, maybe it's just this Brushwag. Maybe it doesn't do enough here. We already have a place to mutate onto. Here's a human, here's a non-human. Yeah, maybe it's just this Brushwag. They're fine and all, but if I have to pitch something, it's pretty low value. Hey, Evolving Wilds, pretty sweet. And we found a dead weight. We'd love to find our third land on time deck, come on. But we have a 2/2 on 2 that we can mutate onto. Don't hate that. The Farfinder might just need to find us a green source, depending on what we draw here, and that's fine. It's a flexible card. That's why we have it in the deck. And here we have a fine attack. Really wish we had found that third land. It's likely they have some cycling thing going on over there. They could also flash in something. Oh, missing third land drop here hurts. But we're not out of this. We're very far from out of it. Even a tap land's fine, because we have dead weight next turn. That can help swing things back our favor. They're thinking about something. It could be they have a cycling card in hand and don't realize they have priority. That is very likely. Maybe they're having connectivity issues. Maybe they're just really in the tank over a decision. We will never know. Alright. They are showing full teamer colors here. And a crystal, so they are not only teamer, they are hard teamer. And deck, we love that land. Luckily, this is a removal spell. Oh, come on, deck. We kept this hand knowing that we just needed a third land to really unlock it. Don't punish us like this. Alright, they drop a 3/3 that's nice to mutate onto. So we could just kill it if we draw a land here. Or we can drop a tap land. We could deadweight it. That makes it a lot less good. They can spit out extra 3/3s, but if they're mutating onto it, they know that it's going to be smaller. And that does enable an attack here. I want to tell them if they want to mutate onto it, that's fine, but it's not going to be the value town they want. And next turn, we actually have stuff to do. The unfortunate bit about that is it makes this mutate a lot worse because they have a nice thing to sacrifice. Alright, Pirate Ceratops. That's alright. We could go ahead and kill it and get an attack in here still. Or we can just Farfinder to go find another land. I think that's what we need to do. Let's take a turn off here. Let's find some lands, deck. We get a forest. replace said forest. And yeah, we don't get an attack, and this thing can get rather large depending on what they're doing. We'll have to keep an eye on it. But we can kill it with the Mythos, no matter how big it gets. So opponent has 7 mana available. We have 4. Definitely a factor this game. That's a hard cast of a very big thing. I believe this is the Cycling Turtle. Yeah, this is the Cycling Dinosaur Turtle. And I'm pretty sure we just kill it here. Yeah, we'll pay the extra cost. I don't care. That thing just can't live. Yeah, ouch. One more mana, we could have maybe held something. Could have held that up, not taken 8. Taking 8 there hurt. But we're sort of at parity life-wise. They definitely have a better board. The Moloch is disgusting. Oh, gosh. Because they can get that back? Oh, chat. That's bad. That's so bad for us. Fumes doesn't really save us here. That thing is ridiculous. This is not a permanent that we could get back. We could Glowstone Recluse. What gets us out of this? We need to find more removal. Do we have other hard removal in this deck? We have the Dirge Bat, which would require more lands. So I guess we're like going Farfinder. Let's go find another land. I kind of don't think we survive long enough for it to matter. Oh. We can cycle the Fumes. This thing's just gonna be an 8/8 Hasty Trampler that's gonna ruin our day. I guess we could cast Fumes normally. No, we can't. We can only cycle it. Can't take 4. We can eat there. Take 10. We needed that to be the bat. This makes him sack something, but I don't think it matters. We'll see. Maybe they misclick. That's about our hope here, is the opponent misclicks. Okay, not what I would have taken. Pretty sure we're just dead here if they swing all. They might be trying to show us something. Like, okay. You know, 15/15 Hasty Trampler is not, not something that we could deal with. Jeez, okay. We got a little bit mana screwed there in the beginning. I don't know if it would have helped too much. They were able to recur a big, you know, an 8/8 Hasty Trampler. Really want to get one more win. Gave up 2 losses back-to-back here. We got to see if we can come back from this. We still haven't even seen our ultimatum. I just want one game. Cast that one game. Come on, deck. I still think our deck's sweet. Opponents have just done disgusting things to us. Alright, we got a 1-drop. Hopefully we can get up to these 3-drops here. If nothing else, we got that cycling. Let's go ahead and keep this. And deck, you gotta give us a 3rd land. Thank you. Brushwag can get in. Hopefully we can get the trigger there nicely. And let's go ahead and do that. Play out a second Brushwag. Get in. They might think we have a cycling card. Let's see what they're doing. Alright, that is a phenomenal deadweight target. Take that out. And then we can just cycle the fumes at the end of their turn. Let's see what they do. If they play something that has 1 toughness, we can just keep the fumes and plan to use it to kill this thing. Like the, oh, a lifelink counter. That's interesting. They actually don't have a good block here. Because of the activated abilities. And I just wanted that so that we can go commando. We're not going commando, chat. Don't worry. We're just running out our commando. Go commando. But don't go commando. We could get our deadweight back and then just deadweight one of these things. That's not the worst. Let's go ahead and see how they block here. We have this fumes that could blow them out. So let's let them make bad blocks. They might think we're up to no good here. Yeah. Because we're up to no good. We could go Farfinder, get another land out of the deck. We could just do this and go find our... Yeah, let's just go ahead and do this on one of the Brushwags. We miss out on a little damage this way. But I like this. Go grab our deadweight. Kill their lifelinker. Now we have Farfinder and Suffocating Fumes and the pumps on the Brushwags. Things are looking pretty good. They got mana screwed this time, not us. We just have overall good attacks here. With the Suffocating Fumes. This is great. And we just have lethal chat. 1 pump here makes it... yep, 10 damage. Count your pumps, opponent. Count your pumps. Yep, alright. They just didn't see that we had lethal. They needed to block differently. Alright, so we didn't get mana screwed. The opponent did, and we do get back most of our gems that we put into this. I still want to try to cast this sweet ultimatum here. So let's go ahead and jump back into it. We still have games to go. And if we do get out of this one here shortly, you know, things don't go well this time, or one of the next 2 games or so, we can go ahead and do another draft. If we get all the way, I think we'll just call it quits there. This looks great. This Triome is going to do some serious work. We got a 2-on-2, and then we can cycle something at least. Oh, it got even better. Now we have our Dirgebat, our Batra. A little awkward there. We're going to throw out the 2-2. They're cycling away one of their big boys. We can cycle away one of our, cycle away the Sandworm. Snare Tacticians, nice for them. We do find land 3, and we can go ahead and find land 4 with a Farfinder. Go ahead and find our double black for this bat. Kind of like that. We don't have attacks here. Looks like they are the red-white cycle deck. Snare Tactician, they are able to gain some life now, alright. Looks nice, opponent, looks nice. We could throw out Brush Swag and just hold up the Sandworm Cycle. I don't mind that. Yeah, we'll just cycle away the Sandworm, look for some more action. We can buy the Sandworm back with the Survivor's Bond. And yeah, here now they're tapping down our stuff. They're gaining some life. That's where the cycling deck wants to be. I'm gonna draft it here at some point, don't worry. Moloch is fantastic. They actually get to go ahead and get this crystal back. So it's pseudo card draw for them. And they also have a 4/4 out. We'll want our bat to take care of that. Interesting that they're not being a little bit more aggressive here. We go ahead and do this. We for sure have 6 on 6. And with 4, we still have, you know, a thwart. We have that. We have the pump. So we're doing okay. We'll go ahead and hold just like this. And we're ideally, you know, going to play land next turn, hold up this Batra to be able to kill their 4/4. If they're offering for mana trade, I think it's okay. They want to trade our 1-drop, we'll just go ahead and pump. And if they have something else, oh, they're going to put a first strike counter on it. Okay. Well, more of a reason to want to kill it. Okay. That's fair. But with them only having 2 mana, we could go ahead and just do it and accept our, accept getting the card from them. We also denied them their crystal. That way. They're tapped out. Let's go ahead and kill the Moloch. Make a big boy. Definitely want it over. Mutate trigger. And I don't think we're in any rush to start attacking here. We'd like to get a human into the graveyard to get max value out of the Survivor's Bond. Dark Bargain might be able to help with that. We'd also take getting Batra back, honestly. So cycling, they get a whole bunch of triggers, which is great. For them, not us. Easy Prey kills something. I like that. So we could Dark Bargain. If we're Dark Bargaining, we could get this back to have it for next turn for sure. We could just Easy Prey and get it back and have it. I think I want to kill the... do I want to kill the Tactician more than the Stinger? I think I want to kill the Tactician over... Oh, we can't. We gotta kill the Stinger. Oops. Read the cards. We could blow them out a little bit with Thwart. Right now we'd only get a non-human back, but maybe it's fine to just get that back. And then we can still hold up Thwart. Just trying to slow the bleeding a little bit. They likely have more big, smashers. They likely have Lava Serpent. They even have these prickly marmosets, and I think that's the thing that we're going to have to kill now when we mutate. Here, let's go ahead and offer the trade and eat it with Thwart. This is not the best use of it. But it does save us damage here when we get one of their creatures off the board. They could have saved it by using removal there. They didn't, which likely means Batra's clean to come out. And we have something that might be a bigger problem now. So that thing is disgusting. And I think we just go ahead and kill it here. get it off the board. We let them have that. I think we have to hold back here. Dark Bargain is a little bit risky because it's going to take our life total pretty low. Especially once they, probably attack here. Ooh, pacifism. We can still mutate onto it. So if we find another mutate card, we can mutate onto it. They're going to give something first strike, pump the dude. I don't know why they didn't just cycle rather than drop the pacifism. So yeah, this Dark Bargain will take us pretty low on life. But I think is what we have to do. We can get this, and we don't need another white source, so let's just take the green. We could Harvester onto it. Yeah, and then they have to sack something and we kill something, so yeah. Even though this is pacified, I think it's worth it. Destroy, sack, and now their board's pretty clean. We can threaten to pump the Brushwag to be really huge. They can pacify it. Alright. They're doing pretty good. We're up against it a little bit. Commando's okay here. We don't get to attack. But we do get to drop it. And it does block. We'll see if they have more pacifisms. Moloch, that's going to be a big problem. Moloch getting a Moloch? Yeah. That's a problem. Ultimatum would be nice. I totally just called that. So, what do? We get the Sandworm, we can get the Oh, wow. We get what? Sandworm, Brushwag, Farfinder. Is there any way we could trade off the Commando? Because we can get it back. I hope they just eat it here. They don't sniff this out too well. It's pretty hard to sniff out an ultimatum. Hey chat, that was fun, wasn't it? Look at what we just did. We stabilized. It's gonna be hard. They still have a lot going on for them. They get the Stinger back, which could potentially ping us to death. But we are at least a little stable. Can deadweight it when it does come down. So we have to attack. And I think we go ahead and pump at least some amount of mana into it. We say we're not holding up a trick, but I think that's okay. Hit him for 10. They get the Stinger. We have at least okay blocks. They can't attack with too much, because we can crack back for lethal. The Commando's a nice thing. Let's go ahead and deadweight the Stinger so that it can't ping us to death. Alright, they cycle to give a lifelink counter, gain some life, do a whole bunch of stuff. That's pretty good for them. ping us for one. Oh, the whole shebang. But getting rid of their reach here is pretty fantastic. Let's get in with the brushwag. I think they have okay double blocks here, yeah. We want to take out the one with lifelink counter. And then a second pump? Do we have the mana to do a second pump and drop this? I think so. Oh yeah, we do. Doesn't do anything. Makes me feel a little bit better. Then we can drop the commando, because we had an attack. Now this sandworm has an attack. Moloch. Oh, they're looping Molochs. That's a great opponent. Just fantastic. That's a combo. We don't have that. We don't even have a sandworm attack now. We're kind of waiting to die. They can loop Molochs all day. Actually, let's do this. They don't have trample, right? No. So those are just chumps. Because if we killed one of them, they could have brought it back. That was our problem. With this, they can only go get, like, the Dranis Stinger to ping us to death. 3 Molochs. Yeah, this is the cycling deck. This is definitely the cycling deck. Nice job on it, opponent. Well, this would have been great about a turn ago. We get to go pick something out of the yard. I think it just has to be like the flare. That's how they can win. We can sack our humans to destroy things. I think we have an attack with a sandworm. We gotta find a way to win this game. Wow. They had decent attacks there. So we can actually mutate on our dude still over here. That makes him sack, that kills something. That may open up enough of an attack. I'm fine just getting a ton of triggers. Let's kill one of those. They gotta sack another one. They're probably sacking the healer. Yep. I think we have an attack with this sandworm. Yeah, because on the double block, we can actually throw our 2 humans at one of them. Okay. We're not dead yet. We're down to 1. Come on, deck. We're so close. Aww. They pinged us for lethal. Darn. Oh, we were so close to coming back on that. We had... That was a great deck. I'm going to save that one. That was fun. We've added it, and let me go ahead and record this. We're 3-3. We get 1,002 packs. Not the best thing in the world. So it was 4. Premier, we didn't spend any gold. We spent 1,500 gems, and we ended up in green, black, white. And it was... Just going to put ultimatum. We got to cast it. I can't be too mad about that. 1,000 of our gems back. No gems on the rare draft. And 2 packs. And we won't worry about that. And we can go ahead and do one more then. So let's go ahead and claim our prize. Be happy that we got something back from it. We only lost 500 gems there. And it got us, a bunch of rares. We got an ultimatum out of it. These packs. More of the land cycle. Got that Dirge Bat. Luna. Ooh, we got an Apex Mythic there. So lots of Mythics. Still pretty happy about that. I'm going to go ahead and bye everyone watching this on YouTube. Appreciate you sticking around watching it. We got to have some fun. We got to cast the ultimatum in our deck. So that was pretty fun. I'll see you guys in the next one.